At 7, yeah.
All right, it is 7 o'clock. We are in the City Hall Council Chambers, and this is the City Hall Common Council meeting. It is August 8th, 2023. I'd like to welcome Troop 503 here tonight, and we'll open up with the invocation from Pastor Mike from St. Stephen's United Church of Christ, and follow into the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm going to take a page from Fred Rogers, the Reverend Fred Rogers, Presbyterian minister and pioneer in children's programming. All of you who are here tonight to serve your fellow citizens, to serve the community, and to serve the rule of law and justice in the way our government relates to the citizens who form the community. And some of you are here to represent your interests and the interests of others in the community before our self-governing system. Each of you is here, though, because someone instilled in you the desire, the call to serve your community and fellow citizens. I invite you now to honor those who inspired you in your thoughts as we begin this evening's work. It may have been a parent or other adult in your family, a teacher, a coach, maybe a pastor or priest or a Sunday school teacher, a leader in a scouting program, or some other adult who inspired you to service above self. Think about that person, how they have shaped your life, and how you in turn have shaped others' lives because of them. Maybe say a prayer of thanks for them if you like, but think about them for 15 seconds. I'll time it. Just think about that person who inspired you at a young age for 15 seconds. Eternal Spirit, each of us is like a pebble you toss into a pond. We do not see the ripples as we hit the water. It is only when we look back that we can see what you have seen, the ripples that go out from another person's life and the ripples that go out from ours. Bless those whom you have called to serve here tonight. Bless those who bring business before this council. May all who come here and all who serve here seek the best for the community, putting the needs of the most vulnerable and those who do not have a voice within our government at the center of their concern and work. We thank you for the people who have built this community and those who have built us to be people of the community and who have inspired us to rise to the call to serve you in our generation. Bless their memory. Bless the work that still inspires us today. May those watching see not just the work being done, but the way the work is done, with integrity, conscience, and concern for the life of this community in all its diversity and all its industry. Let our lives and our work inspire those who follow and be an image of your grace in the world today. May those we remember for just a few seconds tonight be proud of what we do, and may all we do be pleasing to you. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the roll call. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Russell?
Present.
Mr. Kaler?
Present.
Mr. Meyer?
Present.
Ms. Firmanek?
Here.
Mr. Lepton?
Here.
Mr. Rick?
Here.
Mr. Wykes?
Present.
Mr. Sabatke?
Here.
8 accounted for.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Mr. Robin.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm Mike Robin. I live at W4397 Eagle Ridge Road in the Township of Pine River. And I'm here as a representative of the active and aware citizens of Merrill, an organization that has been trying to promote Merrill. And I'm here to say thank you. I want to thank the City Council for the progress that's being made. About a year and a half ago, the Marketing and Communications Committee formatted through budgeted monies that you provided. We've got a logo, we have a tagline, We just entered into a contract, as I understand, with Midwest Communications for further promoting Merrill and advertising. And all those efforts have been very important. I think Merrill's brand in the last year and a half is on an upward trend. I think the communications about Merrill and Merrill's story is actively happening. And having said that, though, I want to urge the council to keep that momentum going. I think we've got good things happening, but they need to be promoted and communicated and messaged. Marketing Merrill is in a critical phase. And remember, this council about 2 years ago passed a strategic plan, and as you recall, the word marketing and messaging is very commonplace through the 4 strategic goals that we all agreed on. So I think it's critical that we continue to keep the momentum going through your efforts. We need to attract people to Merrill, businesses to Merrill. The people we need to attract are both tourists and residents who will live here and raise families here. We also need to attract new businesses to Merrill. And equally important, and something I think we can do well, is we need to give our existing Merrill businesses the confidence that this is a place to grow and expand in Merrill. And I think that's happening, and I think it could continue to happen. We all know in this room that competition to attract people and business and to retain existing business is tough. We only have to draw about a 50-mile radius around where we're standing right now, and we have communities our size, and we have Wausau just to the south, that are actively trying to lure business, new business, people, and even tried to lure people away from here. So our competition is tough, and we've got to meet that competition. I think we can, because I think we've got a good city council that a year and a half ago recognized what we had to do. And what I want to, again, encourage you, you're entering a tough budgetary cycle, as you do every year. But I'm hopeful that you'll look at what the city has accomplished and what it can continue to accomplish by giving marketing and communications in Merrill the priority that it needs. And I thank you for the past efforts that you've contributed to our messaging, and I urge you as you go in through the next months of this budgeting cycle to continue to help us message and market Merrill better and better. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment. Yep, come on up, Mr. Steele.
Got the readers on here so I can see what I'm going to say. Scott Steele, 13675 South County Road K, Merrill. First off, I want to echo my agreement with Mike Robin's statement. Second, I want you to know that I understand that the difficult choices that the city needs to make, especially considering all the budget challenges that we face. And I know that everyone thinks that their issue should be priority number one, and what you end up with is a list of nothing but priority one. So you have some really tough decisions to make, and I want you to know I respect and understand that. But I did want to say thank you to the city. In the last meeting we had, you confirmed your commitment to moving forward with the marketing and communications efforts. We do face some challenges with some of the positions we have to fill and some of the things we have to do, but I'm seeing great movement on that, and so I wanted to thank you for that. But what I wanted to do too is, part of what we really faced, as Mike said, is some tough times. We do have the declining population and aging population, no pipeline of young individuals or family moving to the area, and no pipeline of workers to fill the needs of our city. And as I've shared with the city, the marketing and branding efforts are only one piece of a much larger puzzle to attract and retain that talent to Merrill and attract visitors to the Lincoln County area. So what do I see in 3 to 5 years? Will we be in the same position now? With the commitment you've shown in the past and the commitment that I've been given for moving to the future, I think we do have the foresight to move and make those tough decisions and invest in our future. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Any further public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the minutes of the previous meeting.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 11th Common Council meeting.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve the July 11th Common Council meeting minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is the revenue and expense report.
Discussion and approval of July revenue and expense reports.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the July revenue and expense reports.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve the July revenue and expense reports. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I voted, I should. Opposed? Motion carries.
8-0 instead of 9.
Next item on the agenda is general agenda items. Clerk?
Employees' years of service recognition. Christine, is it Brauhaus?
Brauhaus.
Brauhaus, 25 years Police Department. Andrea Bennett, 15 years at the TV Scott Library. And Corey Nowak, 15 years at the Fire Department.
And Mr. Nowak is here. Would you like to come forward? I'll present your. Chief, you want to take a picture?
Too many chiefs.
Not enough Indians.
Thanks, Corey.
Make sure to market that.
All right, moving on in the agenda, City Plan Commission.
Consider the rezoning request from R1 to thoroughfare commercial for a vacant property behind 1003 South Center Avenue in the city of Merrill, including a 30-foot buffer on Pine Bluff Avenue. This is a plant garden center. The City Plan Commission recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the City Plans Commission's finding. Any discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd just like to say that during the, in the City Plan Commission meeting, that all parties affected were represented, and they came out to some very equitable compromises between themselves. I congratulate them on that, and I'm happy to see this moving forward.
Any further discussion?
Your Honor, this is with all conditions.
Right. The 30-foot is just to the edge of the road line, the ditch line, actually. So, I mean, it's without conditions. There was, I believe, some neighborhood consensus, but
Yeah, the neighbors were concerned about privacy and keeping some of the trees up, and the owner of the property graciously consented to have a buffer zone to respect their privacy.
any further discussion?
Mr. Hickey, do you have anything to say?
I guess the 30-foot portion of this could be stricken from the motion. Really doesn't accomplish anything.
No, that's what I said. It.
And we did go through there and ribbon off 50 feet, and I had talked with the owner, and she agreed in principle as far as that she wouldn't do anything right now, but in the future, something may happen, and if she sells it, something may happen. So that condition isn't there, but right now she has no intention of going in that area.
I'll amend my
Motion.
motion to get rid of the 30-foot buffer.
Is a second agreeable?
Second agrees.
I just want to make sure, Holly, I'm not putting words in your mouth.
No, I'm good with exactly what.
Okay.
We got a vote on the amendment or not? Nope, first and second agreed. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You are approved. Health and Safety Committee.
Consider temporary Class B picnic licenses for the Lincoln County Fair Association for the dates of August 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th, 2023 at the Merrill Festival Grounds in conjunction with the 2023 Lincoln County Fair. The Health and Safety Committee recommends approval.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Nathan's going to be abstaining.
Oh, okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Aye.
Moving on to number 2.
Consider from the earlier health and safety special meeting concerning an amusement arcade permit for Fun Time Action Center, 1307 East Main Street, Merrill.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second?
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? At the meeting, Chief Bennett had no concerns moving forward, so for those of you who were not here. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Board of Public Works.
Consider allowing Geiss Meats and Little Florida Trailer Court to connect and dispose of sanitary waste to our system. The Board of Public Works recommends approval.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we allow Geiss Meats in Little Florida to continue the process of moving in the direction of accomplishing that, but with the understanding that it's not a final approval.
I'll second for discussion.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Your Honor, the way this reads, consider allowing Geiss Meat Little Florida to connect and dispose of waste to our system. We're actually just allowing the process to move forward to study the finances and feasibility of it. Is that correct?
Correct.
I'd also like to say that Little Florida supplies real affordable housing, and that we should have make every consideration to make this happen, because we could ill afford to lose that valuable asset for the community, even though it's out of the city limits.
Any further discussion? Mr. Icky, you want to add anything?
Gabe Steinagle, our water utility manager, has looked at other communities, what they have done and what they've allowed. We will be bringing examples of that, and then Andy and John have talked about hiring an engineering firm, and we will be answering several of the questions that were brought forward, and it'll be a process. This is by no means a final approval. It's just that we agree with the concept, and we're looking to make it happen. I guess if you look at it, if they would load it in tankers and bring it to our treatment facility, we would treat it. So it's not like we're not treating the waste. In the long run, it's probably a safer way and a more economical way, and I think we can all benefit.
Your Honor.
Yep, go ahead.
I have just a couple questions that, if this is an ongoing process, I hope that we can have the answers provided during this process. I'm hoping we'll see exactly where you intend to run the connections, from Geiss to the city, kind of a general map, a visual. And then I'm assuming there would be some type of financial guarantee from Geiss if this actually moves forward, that they have the means and the ability and the funding to see the project through to completion, so that the city doesn't end up with a half-finished project or something like that. So those would be two of my concerns I would like to see addressed.
Okay. Anything further?
Your Honor, a comment and a question. My comment is that I think the finance director, Kathy, did a nice job of putting together a list of questions that need to be answered, and I know Andy Geiss and some of the other members of the corporation there at Geiss answered a lot of those, but there's also some that have to be continue to be staffed and work together on. I think for something like this to happen, it's going to have to be a team effort. My question is for the city attorney. As we envision this
developing forward, are we going to have some type of memorandum of understanding or agreement between the city of Merrill, the town of Merrill, Geiss Meats, et cetera, and those?
Absolutely.
And those should be the elements that start.
There's a few layers to the bureaucracy, and obviously there's some practical things to be worked out. This is just the conceptual stage.
Yep. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on.
Consider, number 2 is consider the delinquent property bid of $5,500 for 503 Wisconsin Street. The Board of Public Works recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
What is the intended use for the prospective owner?
From the bid documents, they said they wanted to turn it into a duplex. There were conditions also that came out of Board of Public Works on the property as far as the acceptance of the bid.
Okay. I'll have the same question, one more thing.
Any further discussion?
Your Honor?
Yes.
I'd like to congratulate all involved on this. It seems like in the past, Merrill's habit was to demolish buildings, substandard buildings that we came in possession of. It probably would have cost us about $15,000 to demolish this building, but in this case, we actually gained $5,500, plus it's a chance to renovate the building into some affordable housing. So I thank everyone involved in this. I think it's a big step forward that we've not only improved the housing situation, but we saved money. So thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3.
Consider the delinquent property bid of $25,695 for 1704 East 2nd Street. The Board of Public Works recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Your Honor?
Yes.
I'd like to repeat my other speech for this property. In this case, we received $25,695, where I feel in the former system, we would have spent $20,000 to tear it down. So thank you again to everyone.
Any further discussion?
And what is the intended use of this property?
There was nothing stated on the bid.
Is there a house staying there now?
Yes.
What's that?
Okay.
There's a house standing there now.
Yes, there's a house there at this time.
Okay.
The person that purchased it has done this in the past, so I'm very confident moving forward that you'll do a good job.
Yep.
And there's not a requirement for the buyer to provide that intent, correct?
There was.
There was, yep.
Upon the completion of the council's action on these 2 properties, the city attorney will be putting together agreements on those to be signed with the conditions.
Okay.
The other properties, we will be reconsidering minimum bids and putting them back out, and we have a couple more to add to a new list, so.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I want to also add that the Lincoln County has accelerated their process of, let's call it foreclosing on properties that are on delinquent taxes, and I applaud the renewed cooperation between the city and the county for making some of these properties viable again. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Redevelopment Authority.
Consider listing the Lincoln County Highway G Industrial/Business Park in TID 13 with real estate broker Tony T.J. Morris from NAI Pfefferly. The Redevelopment Authority recommends approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Redevelopment Authority's recommendation. Any discussion?
Your Honor, did this have an agreed commission determined already, or is that coming back to the redevelopment authority?
Is that coming back?
Similar to the previous one, it was, I think it was 8% if he sells it and 9% if it's a outside broker.
Okay.
Was this put out for an RFP?
It was not, and we don't need to do that for professional services. I mean, that's something we've kind of done in the past.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I'd just like to add that this property does not yet have sewer and water brought out to it, which doesn't really make it viable for sale at this point, but we are working towards that, and I must point out that if the Little Florida project goes through, it could be, we would have to run the sewer and water through this property, which could make that viable for sale. So that, we should consider that, you know, in our overall discussions.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have placing committee reports on file.
Consider placing the following committee reports on file. City Plan, Transit Commission, TV Scott Library Board, Board of Public Works, Merrill Enrichment Center, Personnel and Finance, Health and Safety, Housing Authority, Committee of the Whole, Festival Grounds, Historic Preservation, Marketing and Communications, Airport Commission, Redevelopment Authority, and Park and Recreation Commission.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve placing the committee reports on file for this month.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to place the committee reports on file. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have resolutions.
We have one resolution this evening. This is a resolution granting the Haunted Sawmill a street use permit in October for a period of 10 years at Hendrick Street, Merrill. Whereas the Haunted Sawmill has requested a street use permit to close the street in the area in front of the Haunted Sawmill, Hendrick Street from East 7th to East 8th Street, from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the following dates in 2023, October 6th, 7th, 13th, 14th, 20th, 21st, 27th, 28th, and 29th, 2023, in conjunction with a haunted house event. Whereas a similar permit would be applied for during approximately the same dates for the next 10 years, whereas the Board of Public Works has reviewed the application and has recommended approval of said application. And now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Merrill, Wisconsin, this 8th day of August 2023, that a street permit shall be issued to the Haunted Sawmill to close the street area in front of the Haunted Sawmill on the above dates and times in 2024 and on similar dates through 3033. And the Haunted Sawmill shall notify the Public Works Director by July 1st of each year of the exact dates the permit shall be used. Be it further resolved, commencing in 2024, a street use permit shall be granted to the Haunted Sawmill through 2033 for their haunted house event on approximately the same dates and times as the previous year. The street use permit may be revoked by the City of Merrill upon 90 days' notice to the Haunted Sawmill. This was recommended by the Board of Public Works.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Your Honor, is there a permit fee that they normally would pay to have this permit?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm not opposed to this by any stretch, but does this have to come back to the council every year
No.
anyways? Or
That's
they
why we're
just-
doing it this
they'll-
way.
Okay.
They used to come back every year, and then at the direction of the Board of Public Works, I reached out to the Haunted Sawmill, and they were very much agreeable to have this.
Just to make it an expedited. Okay.
Right.
That's
If there were a problem, we'd bring it back.
Yeah.
Alderman Rick has 10 more years to serve, that's why he brought this up.
No.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mayor's Communications. This Wednesday, August 9th, is the last city band concert in the park. Hopefully, we get some good weather, but it's not looking too good. But August 9th at the library, we have Bring Your Own Book Club from 4 to 5. A Spirus Comfort Care session at 1 p.m. at the Enrichment Center on August 9th also. On August 10th, we have Trades and Consumer Protection at the Enrichment Center from 1 to 3. We'll talk about identity theft and common scams. On August 15th at 10 a.m. at the Fire Department and the Firefighter Memorial, we will be honoring Chief Talbot. On the 16th is Dream Flights at the airport terminal. Veterans fly over Merrill in a World War II biplane. And there's 9, I believe, this year.
There's 9. I have
Yep.
the list, but it's in my
And
office.
a lot of them are Bell Tower residents, so they'll be coming out there. And everybody's welcome to come out there and cheer them on. It's a great event. Lori and I were there last year. It's very, very nice. And Tom, you were there too. The fair is August 16th through the 20th. And on the 17th and the 24th of August, Wiggle, Giggle, and Shake at the library at 10:30 for ages 0 to 5. On August 29th at 1 p.m. is Common Scams and Frauding Target Sessions for seniors at the library. August 30th is Banker Square Bring a Lunch and enjoy the music from 11 till 1 down there. I know the last time they had it, the weather was a little iffy, but they still had some people. It's a good chance to get out and connect. September 4th is the Labor Day Parade and Car Show at the fairgrounds. And September 9th is the Rider Club at the fairgrounds and citywide garage sale. And I just want to remind all the older people that budget sessions are fast approaching, and we'll be having a committee of the whole on September 12th with a presentation from the auditors. That's all I have. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.